All right, if you want to know what the easiest way to lose body fat is, this is what I found to be by far the best method. Now, this isn't like what you're going to see across the internet. You're not going to see me talk about doing intermittent fasting, doing keto, carnivore, vegan. This is just a very simple practice that I've kind of picked up over the years, and it's allowed me to stay lean, 10 to 12% body fat year round, honestly, without even trying. I call it effortlessly lean. So what is it? It's really just avoiding snacking. I know it sounds like stupid simple, but avoiding snacking. Now, how do you do that? Well, you want to delay your first meal. Whenever you delay your first meal, you're telling your brain that you don't need food. You're not in this state where you need to constantly be fed. So as soon as you wake up, you're going to delay your first meal by a couple hours, 5, 6 hours. I would say minimum at least 4. You want to do this because you're training your brain to stop snacking. You don't need to constantly eat, and you can actually go very long periods of time without eating. Now, this is different. This is different from fasting. Fasting is a set window of when you can eat and when you cannot eat. You usually eat from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m., whatever it is. But this is just, it works with your schedule. So if you were out late and then you slept in later, so you just delay your first meal by a couple hours in the morning. If you woke up earlier, just delay it by a couple hours. And it automatically keeps you on schedule. Not only that too, your energy and focus is drastically increased. Whenever you wake up and you eat a big meal, you eat some carbs, whatever it is, your focus is automatically sapped. But when you have no food in your system, you are energized, you're sharp, and you're ready to go. Now, how do you go about skipping this first meal? Like delaying this first meal? You want to use some tactics, a few of my favorites actually. So you want to start drinking either matcha tea, coffee, or drink some seltzer water if you don't like caffeine. Why? Because these are going to increase your energy, they're going to increase your focus, and they're also going to suppress your appetite. So caffeine suppresses your appetite and you won't get hungry for a few hours. And that's really all you need to be able to maintain this state. Now, another thing too is why this works so well is it gives you more calories to have later on in the day. So if you automatically skip breakfast, there's 400 to 600 calories. You can later on use those calories to eat for lunch, for dinner, for dessert. You just have more wiggle room of what you can eat instead of spacing it out throughout the day and then constantly getting hungry. Once you have a meal, then you're like, man, I want to eat some more later on. No, well, if you delay it, then you have more options to eat later on. And you can have these big dinners, you can have these big feasts, and it's just amazing. Because then you're so full and you're like, wow, I barely even used all my calories. It just gives you so much more wiggle room. And then not only that, when you delay your first meal by 4 hours, if you do that every day for a year, you will have not eaten for 91 extra days than the average person who eats breakfast. Let that sink in. 90 days. Your body is getting 90 days less of food. You don't think that would help make you leaner, healthier? It also does make you more youthful. When you start incorporating more fasting, it has this regenerative effect on your cells. It's so powerful. It is so powerful. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and say like fasting is the end all be all. It's the magic bullet that you've been missing, but it helps you a lot if you're someone who's tried different methods and you're trying to figure out how can I be productive? How can I get all my calories in and eat the right foods? Well, this is just a simple way without having to go through all the hoops that come with intermittent fasting and keto and tracking macros. This is just a very simple rule to follow. And yeah, so that's really all I got as far as losing fat. It's just a simple method that you can use. And if you want to track it, if you want to spend a week delaying your first meal and see if you feel more energized, if you feel less cravings and your appetite is suppressed from drinking coffee, go ahead and try it. I recommend you try it. If it doesn't work for you, that's totally okay. I'm not saying this is the end all be all. This is just work for me and it works amazing. So I've tried it. I know other people who like it. If you want to try it as well, go ahead, let me know how it works. And yeah, see you in the next video. Peace.